Raising. So in this video, I'm going to show you our 87% trading strategy for oil. We're going to look at some backtests, review the code, and then I'll show you how you could implement that into your own trading system, even if you're a manual trader. Let's just jump straight into it. Alright, so first let me go over the actual strategy itself. I will load up the different indicators you need on the chart. Then we look at the backtest, and then we look at the code. So this is a very straightforward system. We need the Bollinger Bands, right? Now we just use the default for now, and then after, once we do the backtest, I would get a customizing for that particular symbol. Alright, so we have that. So how this strategy works is we are looking for a pullback. This is only for our chart. All right. So we are looking for the candle to close below the Bollinger, the lower band. Once it closes below the lower band, we want to make sure that we actually below the ADX level, so the market isn't trending, because you don't want for this type of situation to happen, right? Because a lot of the Bollinger Band strategies, they tell you to buy when you get a close below the band. But if you do that here, well, that one would work. But if you do that here, you would lose this entire thing, right? Because the market is already trending, and the ADX kind of gives an indication of whether the market is trending or not. So we use the ADX to filter out the trends, because we're looking for a ranging market in order to buy to get a pullback quickly, right? So yeah, we look to buy once we go below the band, making sure we below the ADX level, and then we hold the trade, and then we close on the first candle that closes above the middle band. Now with this robot, we don't do martingale, and it isn't a grid, but it scales into the position to get a better price. So if you buy here, and then we have this one, and we still have all the criteria, we take another trade, and then we take another trade here, and then all three closes at this point. So you're scaling into the position to get the best price possible, right? So let me just do the back test really quick. So this is on oil, US oil on the H4. So I did the back tests and kind of optimized a bit, and I created a set file for oil, US oil and UK oil, but the same settings actually work for both. It's just that if you change the settings slightly, it works better for one than the next, right? So if we look at this really quick, we just have the settings for the Bollinger Band, we have the period for the ADX and the level for the ADX, then we have the risk percentage. This risk factor, how this works is it takes your account balance and you divide it by 100,000, and that would give you the lot size, which is basically the same as saying 1 micro for every 100. Same thing, right? And the take profit, the TP percentage is doing our equity percentage to close all trades. So if we over the 1%, 2%, it will just close all trades and call that good for the day. This is a comment that could dynamically be changed. I do this for all of the robots, so you could actually put in the comment here. So once you generate your report, it would actually leave a comment, for whatever you say at this point. We have the magic number, we have slippage, and we have the max spread. So you could adjust the spread dependent on the symbol itself, because every symbol has a different spread, and you don't want to be trying to trade one symbol with like a 20 pip spread and your max spread is only 5, then it wouldn't take any trades. And then after that, we just have these 4 settings here, which are color settings, basically just for the display itself, the candles. So if we get the signal for a buy trade, it will turn green. If we get the signal for a sell trade, it will turn red. Other than that, the candles will be gray, and then the midline would be plotted as a line that will be in purple. Alright, so that is a mouthful. Let me just start it. So you can see the purple line dynamically changing, which is the midline. When I coded the Larry Connors RSI2, I did this, not that the system needs it, but this was just for me to visually see once I look at the chart, like to figure out where the close point would be. And since then I kind of like this, the way this take profit the concept behind this take profit, where you're using basically a moving average to give you your indication that it's time to get out. Right, so it's not like a fixed lot size, it's not a fixed based on the ATR or anything. If the market starts to trend, that means the price will always be over that purple line. When it crosses below the purple line, then you get out. So I kind of like that. So I kind of code that into a lot of the bots that I'm doing right now. So you can see here on the side on the display, I just did a very simple GUI, nothing too complex. We just have the symbol with the time frame, the balance, the equity, the PNL in dollars. So this would only change once our trade is actually active. When it's no trades, it will be back at 0. So the PNL in dollars, the PNL in percentage, the lot size at that point in time based on the calculation for the balance, the total number of trades open, and the spread. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Now I know a lot of people would say there are some coders online who say that if strategies look too good, that it's probably a history reader. So what we do after we look at the report is we will take a look at the code itself, and you'll see exactly what the code made up of. So if you want to code it yourself, you kind of see how I did it. If you want to turn it into an indicator, you can do that too. Or if you want to just trade it manually, well, I mean, you can try to do that. Yeah, it would work, but you would miss some trades, but you know, it's still doable. So you can see we're using the Bollinger Bands with the ADX. If we look at the report, we basically made 100% with a profit factor of 5.4. right? Did 178 trades, 13.35% drawdown, and 87.64% winning trades, right? So so this is one of the strategies I want to be using for the funded programs. I will just show you how the UKOil, which I find it moves a bit better, and I will just load the set file for that. UKOil. Yeah, I'll take off this, so we just do the test really quick. And this is the equity curve for the UKOil, right? Made 118% with 234 trades, 79.49% profitable trades with 21% drawdown, right? Profit factor 5.08. So let me look at the code now to see if we're doing any history reading. So the bot is the BB brick, right? I just did something simple with the name. So this is the BB brick, right? Just the name. This is, I'll be launching this website soon that you can download indicators and stuff from. Is actually an AI website I was building, but I'll convert it and add, you know, trading tools to it. So if we start looking at the actual code itself, for it we have basically 4 sections, right? And these are the 4 input sections that you saw before. The first input section is where you actually scan the market to get your entry signals. So you look for the Bollinger Band, the period of the Bollinger Band, the same way you would set it, whether it's 21, 40, whatever it is. So this is just the Bollinger Band settings. This is the ADX settings. So you put in the period for the ADX as well as the level that you want to use to calculate, because you know you have to be below the level of the ADX value has to be below the level in order to trade, right? So that is that. And then we have the risk factor. So as I said, this risk factor 1 means you'll be doing this calculation, account balance divided by 100,000 multiplied by risk factor, which would give you 1 micro to every $100 in your account. All right, wait, this is editing me. So a quick correction there. So the calculation is actually account balance divided by 10,000 multiplied by risk factor, right? I was actually playing around with the code and doing something to reduce risk, and that is how I put it to 100,000. 10,000 would actually give you 1 micro to 100. 100,000 would give you 1 micro per $1,000 in your account. So yeah, so back to the video now. Right, take profit percent, again, is just another simple calculation where you do account balance divided by 100 multiplied by take profit percent, and that would give you what your equity take profit is. Right, so that is this. Then we have the section where you leave the comment. So this could change externally. You could leave any comment that you see fit, you know, depending on the system or whatever it is. The magic number, the slippage, and then to adjust the max spread. Right. These are the 4 color settings. So the up candle, down candle, range candle, and the line, and you could just change the colors with this. So after that, this piece of code here, it ensures that it only does the calculation once per bar, because you don't want to constantly be adding trades. And you could have done it where you said that orders total equal to 0, but then you would only have 1 trade alone. And with this system, we want to scale in, so you want to actually make sure that you check this once per bar, right? So this checks it once per bar. This is just the on init. So when you actually load the indicator or the expert advisor onto the chart itself, what it does, it shifts the candles back. So this is just, if you use the shift on the chart itself, it shifts the chart back. It creates the box, which is this box right here, right? And it shifts the chart back. And after that, it just creates this display, which is right here, right? Which is one of my companies. So after that, we get into the on tick. This is all the calculations that is being done. So the BB high is just to get the upper Bollinger Band, then BB low to get the lower Bollinger Band value. BB close is to get the main. Now I didn't call it main, I call it close, because we're using the middle line on the Bollinger Band to close the trade. This one here is to get the ADX value. So this is where the value of the ADX is for the last candle, right? OT is orders total, and then spread is to give you the spread for that particular symbol. Now this is dynamic. This would change as the spread from the broker itself change. This number would update in real time for every tick. Right, now this here, this isn't necessary. What it does, it checks to see if there's any existing trades on that particular symbol. So if you are trading 5 different symbols, and let's say you only wanted to trade one, or to have 1 trade per symbol, if this is set to true, then it will only trade 1 time on that symbol until the trade is closed, and then it will take another one. But with this, it checks to see if it has existing trades. I mean, it's not necessary for this because we are scaling in, but I like to put it in because sometimes I like to put the option to choose whether you're scaling or not, right? So now this is to get the close line. So if you remember, we have close orders. So the close orders is equal to this calculation here. So if the close of the previous candle is below the BB close, which is this, it would give that this close order is equal to close buy. So you're only closing buy if this happens. And then if the close is above the middle line, then it will close sells, right? Once that is done, it does this piece of calculation here. So it deletes any existing line, which is the dotted line on the screen, which is this dotted line, right? So you see it's close line. So it's close line. So it deletes any existing close line, and then it creates a new close line to where the middle line of the Bollinger Band is, which is also BB close, right? And that is it. It's straightforward like this. This so straightforward. So now you just get into the actual placing of the order. We want to make sure that the spread is below the max spread. and we want to make sure the ADX value, which is what the current ADX value is you know, lower than or greater or equal to the ADX level, which is the level that we set. And if that is the case and the close is below the Bollinger Band and it's a new bar, then we buy, right? So it's quite a bit to check before you take the order, but you want to make sure you're doing this once per bar. So we doing this new bar, we want to make sure we lower than the Bollinger Band, and we want to make sure the value of the ADX is below the level, and then we want to make sure that the spread is not too high. And if all that goes through, you place the buy. In order to close the buy now, you want to make sure that the close order is equal to buy. So that means if this happens, if this piece of code here happens, that means it will execute this. So it will check to make sure that you're on the current symbol, that you have a buy open, and it will close the buy. And then is the exact opposite for the sell, where you do the 4 checks to make sure that everything is in order before you do the sell. And then in order to close the sell, we make sure that the order close is equal to close sell, and then you sell close. This one here does the equity take profit. So this is where it calculates the percentage of the account. If you hit that percentage, you just close all trades whether you hit the order close or not, right? It's just a quick way to get out the market. This does the display, the candle display on the screen. So if you remember that once there's no trades on, the candles will be gray. When the signals comes in for a buy trade, the candles turn green, and when it goes to a sell trade, the candles turn red. So here it just checks to make sure that the ADX value is below the level and the close is below the Bollinger Band. This doesn't need to check if it's a new bar or if is the spread is, you know, max spread or whatever it is. It just needs to check these 2 things, and if it does that, it will say the signal is long. And then down here, if the signal is long, then this candle display would be equal to this, right? So this is what actually changes the color of a candle, where you have the chart up and down and the bull and the bear. So this is what actually does that color change. So it changes for up candles, down candles, and then ranging candles is by default ranging candles, so it'll be gray. And then after that, we just get into the display itself. So I could do this, so I could split the screen and you could see both of them, right? So this piece here for the display is what this is. So the first thing, you have the symbol, which is the symbol and the time, right? So you see symbol and then the period, which is in minutes, and then we have the account balance, we have the equity, which is there, we have the equity, the profit and loss in dollars, and then the profit and loss in percentage, which is that and that. We have the lot size, and this just pumps in the lot size that was calculated above into this area here, and then we have the orders total, and then we have the spread. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Is a really it don't have anything else after that. It have nothing to read any history behind this. It's just a simple, straightforward strategy that you could trade manually if you want. You could trade it manually if you want, or you could build an indicator. I might build an indicator. So if you all want to get an indicator, leave a comment below, let me know. So I'll build an indicator with the set files for oil. As I said before, I'm not really giving out the code. If I do have to do this and give out the code, it wouldn't actually be buying and selling. You get the display and everything, but the candles will change color, but it wouldn't place orders. Like any EAs that I have to do, it wouldn't actually place orders. It will give you the signals, but I mean, something I'm thinking about, but we might get into that. But for now, if you want to get the indicator, let me know. I'll create the indicator and we'll upload it where anyone could download it and test it out on a demo first, and let me know. Keep in mind, this was back tested on 8-cap data, right? And every broker, the data feed is slightly different, and the candles are slightly different I don't know why, but that is just what it is. So this was calculating on 8 cap data. So yeah, that is where we are. So this is I would not be trading this specific one on oil for the funded challenge. I would actually be trading it on the Hong Kong index as well as the Dow, right? So this strategy would be trading on those two because I get the lowest drawdown. I think I was making like 14% with 2% drawdown using the system. So that would be using for the funded programs, and this would be going on to my personal live account that would, once the performance keeps up for the next 3 months or so, it would be going on a Palm account that anyone could actually jump on. So yeah, so that is where we at. Yeah, so that was kind of a long video. If you like that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're a profitable trader and you think you could get funding, have a discount with funded trading plus where you could get 10% off with TWJ10. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned to the channel, see when I drop more indicators, robots, that kind of stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.